Hi everyone. Today we are going to review the movie Skyscraper, starring Dwayne Johnson. I did go see this one in theaters. It's hard to believe that it's been 3 years now since this movie came out. But I guess the time's kind of been flying the last year and a bit because of, what's been going on. It just feels like even though times seems to be moving somewhat slower, it's like, where did the time go of 2020? It just seemed to kind of pass us in a blur with all the craziness that went down. I guess maybe that's kind of what made it move fast, and it's hard to believe we're almost at the end of January already. And yeah, I don't know. This year's going to be probably just as weird as the last one, but I guess we'll see how things go within the next few months as to whether we're going to get back to some normalization or not. I feel like I say that in most of my videos now, but hey, here's to hoping. I'm not crossing my fingers on anything. In fact, I actually kind of went into this year with low expectations, so I guess that's maybe with that kind of mindset, it's kind of made me a little more motivated to just keep my eye on the prize of what I want to be doing, YouTube, rather than focusing on the negative, because I know in the past with this, I've kind of burnt myself out. So now I'm kind of going on my list and off of my list a little bit, just to kind of get a mixture of things in there. So I'm trying to do some TV shows now that I know that are completed, so I can just kind of binge watch them. And once I start a TV series, I'm just going to binge watch it from beginning to end. So I'm starting with some smaller ones first, just to kind of get some out of the way from my Netflix list, because oh my god, I have between movies and TV shows, it just seems like I'm adding new stuff. And yeah, I kind of want to get done a lot of my Netflix stuff, so I can just kind of move on to the other streaming services and go from there, because I do have other things like on DVD and stuff that I want to review as well, so we'll see how far I get with that. I was hoping to kind of mix in the Batman movies with everything else, but it seems like I'm kind of saving those to the end. But yeah, I have The Big Bang Theory Season 10 in my PS3, so I can start that as well. So maybe after I'm doing this one, Love, Death, and Robots, because it's kind of like a mini series with 18 episodes, I'll start the Big Bang Theory again, just so I can get that finally done and complete and uploaded. Because yeah, it's been so long since I've done a season of the Big Bang Theory. So yeah, anyway, Skyscraper starring Dwayne Johnson. In this movie, his name is Will, which is kind of made me laugh a little bit. So it's almost like I'm living the story myself. But anyhow, and his full name is Will Sawyer, and his wife's name is Sarah. So I guess he was sort of like a security detail in some sort of way. And then he had another job too in this movie, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, his wife is military, so obviously they have some sort of training background, so it's not like a far-fetched thing that he can fend for himself, certainly. But unfortunately, he was in an accident due to 10 years prior to where he is now. So he was working security, and now he's I guess he's kind of on the other end of it in a way, because now he's not security detail, but he is still in the security business, just in a different way, as opposed to with a gun. I guess he's making sure through computer systems and stuff that buildings and things are safe. So he's kind of like totally flipped career choices and just gone to the other end of the business side, I guess, with his previous work. So anyway, he's basically got to come in to make sure this building in, I believe, is it Hong Kong, China, somewhere around there. It's the tallest building in the world. It's state of the art, brand new, and he's testing their fire systems, basically, and security systems, and so on and so forth. Until these guys break into the building and shut down the systems, and basically they're letting the building burn. They didn't realize that anybody else was going to be in the building besides the owner. Was it Zhao or Zhao? I guess, yeah. Zhao. Okay. And the guy who breaks in is, I'm just going to call him by his last name, Botha or Botha. Oh my God, the names in this movie. Anyhow, his associate was Mr. Pierce, the guy who worked under Zhao, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It turns out he didn't work for him. He worked for, holy shit, Botha, or yeah, Botha. So you find out that Botha basically threatened Zhao, saying that if he didn't pay him, he would stop the construction of the building and basically destroy his livelihood. So he paid him, but in the process, Zhao was able to put a chip into all of the payments and track every payment and transaction that Botha, I guess, committed. So he was able to find the names of all the people and put it onto a drive. So obviously Botha wants the drive so he can clear all of those names and continue living his life of crime. That's not what happens, though. Botha ends up dying thanks to Will Sawyer, who single-handedly saved his family. It's just crazy, the amount of stuff he went through. Now, I know obviously he has some sort of combat background and such, but he still was at a disadvantage because in the accident in the beginning of the movie, he ended up losing his leg. So he is kind of at a disadvantage there. So a lot of these scenes are really intense. I forgot how intense this movie actually gets at certain points in time, especially when he's scaling and climbing the crane and the building. It's just like, oh my God, is he gonna make it? Is he not? It was one of those movies where The Rock isn't a complete superhero badass. I mean, there are certain scenes where obviously it shows his strengths, but he definitely has more weaknesses in this one, I would say, as opposed to most of his previous movies, like him being in Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, The Rundown, Walking Tall, like those types of movies. I know he's typecast as like obviously the big tough guy, but in this movie, I actually liked this character for him because it was at least ow, just bit my tongue. It was at least a little bit different as opposed to his previous characters. So it was nice to kind of see that he had at least some weaknesses in this film, as opposed to his other films where he just seems to be like completely invincible. And I believe he's actually going to be doing a superhero movie here soon. So is it Black Adam that he's going to be playing? I guess we'll see. I believe that's correct. I might be wrong on that, but anyhow. So yeah, he basically is kind of a run-of-the-mill, everyday just father in this movie, besides obviously his career choice in the past. But other than that, yeah, he doesn't really have too many special abilities, really, besides his career choice, which was kind of nice to see, because a lot of other movies he's in, he seems to be, like I've said already, like the untouchable guy. But in this movie, he definitely defied the odds of death, because at one point he's When he's going into the turbines, the scene in the turbines, that was a pretty intense scene. He's using duct tape to scale the wall, and it kind of reminded me, if you've ever seen the Mission Impossible movies, where Tom Cruise is scaling with the gloves that he has, the power gloves. It kind of reminded me of that, but just like a red-green version of the power gloves, basically, for Dwayne Johnson in this movie, unfortunately, or Will Sawyer, I guess. And then he ends up almost falling to his death, and his leg gets detached, but he's able to lift himself up and grab the leg and pull himself back to safety. So yeah, like there was just some really crazy scenes in this movie that made you go like holy, especially when he has to end up jumping from the crane into the building because he tried to swing the I don't know, like pulley or lever into the building, but it ends up coming detached, so he has to jump because otherwise he would have been taken into custody by the cops. I believe this movie was set in Hong Kong. So yeah, it's just a super, super crazy movie for Dwayne Johnson to do. I would say he was kind of uh, in his element, but also a little bit out of his element in this movie. I mean, he's still a phenomenal actor as far as that goes. I like him anyway. I know a lot of people say that he's not a great actor, but I mean, the man's been acting his whole life, um, like all the way from his wrestling career till now. So I mean, I've always liked him since his wrestling days, and I don't think he's doing a bad job in the Hollywood movie business now. So I'd like to see a lot more movies with him in them. And I know he has a lot. Like I've looked up his projects, so he has a lot of stuff coming within the next few years. Hopefully, with what's going on, it's not blocked too long, because I know a lot of people are having issues with obviously filming things due to what's going on around the world right now. So hopefully things get cleared up sooner than later, and we can go back to everybody can go back to their jobs and start making films that we're going to enjoy in the future. I know, I believe he's one of the ones that has a project with Netflix that's bringing us films throughout the year of 2021. One big film every month or something. I think Ryan Reynolds and I believe it's The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and somebody else that's part of this project. So I'm really interested to see what that is going to bring us as far as Netflix films. Maybe we'll see each one of these actors release a film. I'm not sure whether they're going to be in them, whether they're directing them, producing them, but they're somehow tied in with all of these films that are going to be released through this project. So I'm really interested in that as well. I guess that kind of ties into the fact that maybe this movie's on there now, and maybe we'll see more of his movies on there in the future. That would be nice because I'd like to review a lot more of his movies, so I guess we'll see. Anyhow, I would say this movie was a 9 out of 10 for me. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's just, yeah, that's just my rating. That's just how much I enjoyed it, I guess. I can't give it a lower rating, and I can't give it a full 10 out of 10. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for this film. So please like, share, and subscribe. And comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If not, please go watch it, because this is probably one of my more favorite films that The Rock was in, because it showed a better character, and he had more character development, I would say, in this one. And it was a different kind of character for The Rock, in a way. I mean, it started out the same. I wasn't sure how this movie was going to go, but I'm glad it went this direction, because it kind of showed a little bit more vulnerability from him, which was nice, because, yeah, as I've said in the video earlier, it seems like he's kind of more the untouchable guy. But that's all I have to say for this film. So I will... Did I say like, share, and subscribe? Comment down below. Yes, I did. Anyhow, wow. Then I get rambling on and I forget what I've said. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.